Okay, everybody. It's Adrian here, CryPTOBIRB. Hope everybody is doing okay. Welcome to today's Friday's webinar. Everybody, I'm happy to be hosting this one for you to actually get you, everything you need to know, in my opinion, to get ready for what's coming for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for what's coming next. Okay. We are going to urgently as well cover the very recent price action of today's pump. Okay, so hopefully everybody is just going to appreciate it. And for everybody who's new, just make sure to stay notified, get your notification bells on, make sure you subscribe to this very channel because, that's what YouTube algos require pretty much, like for us to keep it growing, to keep it coming for more content, for better value, for that everybody to be happier. Okay, so I hope everybody is just doing okay. As I said, this is streaming directly to our Twitters and to our YouTube, and it is very simple. I'm going to give you like my thoughts over Bitcoin. I'm going to show you off a couple of points that I made for Business Insider yesterday on the article that I was featured with my analysis for why I do believe Bitcoin is supposed to go through and over $100,000 later this year. And on top of that, very quick overview for Bitcoin, USD, Ethereum, BTC, Ethereum, USD, everything, Bitcoin, everything, Ethereum is just going to be the one today. Also going to spill a couple of beans for you with regards to what DeFi I'm actually picking, for the next couple of months. Okay, and at the very end of the session, in about 35 minutes. From now, we're going to get you like 5-10 minutes Q&A. Cześć wszystkim Polakom też. Lots of people. Make sure you put it in the comments before we get it going. And I share my first screens. Make sure you let me know where you're coming from, where you're writing from, where you're watching this from. There are a lot of Polish people, which I'm very happy because I'm a very patriotic person, but I'm very aware as well that there are so many other people from different countries which I cannot be happier about, okay? So let's get it going. In the meantime, throw in and good best regards to Scotland. I love Scottish people. Lithuania, India, perfect. Everybody, let's go. Let me just get you the very first portion of the streams, if that is okay. Okay, so very quick overview. I could see all the beautiful countries just popping up in the channels. In the channels where you can put your questions as well, okay? Because when the Q&A time comes, I'm going to have about 5 to 10 minutes max to go through the questions, pick a couple of them randomly, and actually help you go, okay, through all of them. So if we turn off and get rid of every indicator that we have, okay, we just want to understand what's happening locally, okay? So what's happening locally is that we are seeing the main resistance being tested right now here, okay? That is out of question. This main resistance is coming from this, head and shoulders, okay, pattern neckline, right? Doesn't matter like if you have it as the like more diagonal head neckline or just the horizontal. What matters the most is the range, and the range defined by the range extremes, by the range low and the range high. This is what defines the actual territory for the price action to be the reference point, to be the main anchors. Okay, and anything of the extremes like the $65,000 or this $44,000 is supposed to be the main resistance region. Okay, you can tell also that there was right before the drop, there were a couple of candles that were giving you this tiny support, this final kind of like a bullish bastion that once broken through, it actually resulted with a massive decline further off. Okay, so hope everybody just, by the way, can see the screen. Keep me posted. Okay, keep me posted if you can see the screen and everything is just fine. So you can anticipate that this level, because of the crucial role that it played of the main support that once broken resulted in a massive downside move, it means that it has to be of specific and very important technicals, okay, very technical nature. So polarity change principle suggests that broken support turns into resistance. Okay, so this entire price action based region is supposed to act as a resistance, and then you saw the very first rejection to start with. Okay, and another attempt to break away, to break through, okay, the main resistance cluster. And if you see a daily close through this region, in my opinion, the bursts are done, and we are going slowly to visit high $50,000. Okay, because that is the technical range. That is the very technical range of the base size of this range of $13,000 that is supposed to take you from $44,000 region, 13K plus on top of that, which makes it somewhere $58,000. Okay, it makes a lot of sense because that was also the idea of previous weakness. Okay, for bulls, this was the idea filling with massive fake outs. Okay, anything in fact over $58,000 acted in here as a supply cluster. That was a selling. Okay, that was selling going on. So we could expect this to be of special importance, which also is additionally confirmed, okay, by the volume profile. This is the chart that I gave to everybody like days ago. I was talking about this chart and these levels, this support and resistances for the main cluster when Bitcoin was trading through $32,000. Was saying about the importance of the MA50 in there, daily 50-day moving average. Okay, once broken, another supply cluster coming from the volume weighted average price, the blue curve, and the 200-day moving average. Okay, so for $45,000 for the mean reversion for the first time ever since the breakdown in here. Okay, well, I was informing about it as well. Like there are so many tweets, you can actually just go and look it up. Yeah, it's just going to happen, right? And then when this is broken, then as I said, you have this solid, powerful technical resistance cluster coming from the volume, because the entire drop from 65 to the main region of $30,000, okay, came with the massive supply, with the biggest liquidations, pretty much in this region, in this area, starting from the view up level of $53,000 up to the entire volume block cluster up to $58,000. Again, which just confirms from another technical point of view of volume analysis that this is the region that you want to get your anchors at. Okay. By the way, hope everything is just clear so far. Okay. Please keep me posted in the chats. Okay. Whenever something is unclear, I'll just do my best to go for it. Okay. So here we are locally, right into the very resistance, attempting a final breakthrough. Okay, which if managed to have a daily or weekly close better, as we are heading into the weekend, which usually statistically have been more about volatility in the downside direction. So if you see a weekly close through, daily close through, better weekly, then there are high chances that $58,000 block unlocks. Okay, this is quite likely with some breakout retest. Hopefully, this retest holds and forms some sort of like a rounded bottom. Okay, that's where we are. We are at the resistance. And before we head over to Ethereum, I just want to make sure that we go through the actual insider article, that Business Insider that I had the chance to participate in. I was very happy. That is actually like a big personal success, big personal achievement, milestone for me. That's not something that I would consider perhaps game changing or life changing. But this is definitely a very good nobilization, very good, just confirmation and acknowledgement in public that, what I do may inspire a lot of people, and hopefully it will inspire you as well. Okay, so I know Business Insider as well just asks you to subscribe to it before reading, so I want to make it easier for you and save you a couple bucks perhaps, and just scroll through that. Okay, through what I own in here. Yeah, so long story short, I was talking about the importance of $43,000 resistance. Let me just actually go through it. $43,000, right? Current local resistance level line, which sellers would be sitting at, is $43,000. Okay, when this top is broken for on a weekly or monthly basis, then will likely be a period in which up and down tug. This kind of like my expectations for quarter three, where I would expect some sideways, most likely consolidation, contracting consolidation in the form of a triangle coil. Does not matter too much because it's still, defined by the range extremes, by the range lows and the range highs. So it does not continue trending until it breaks out and retests this range of the highs. It's not a downtrend until it breaks through the lows with a breakdown and retest either. Okay, so it's not downtrending, it's not uptrending, it's just going sideways. And sideways tend to form some patterns. And Bitcoin likes triangles. You would see the triangle, descending triangle in here back in 2018. You would see reversal, ascending triangle in here, 2018 bottom reversal. You're seeing some sort of like a symmetrical triangle there on the June's 2019 peak. Okay, you were seeing some other contracting consolidations as we went through another triangle, and so on and so forth. Okay, so Bitcoin likes triangles in general. So I could safely assume that whether or not this is going to be triangle, to be specific, it doesn't matter too much, because what matters is breaking through the major resistance of the all-time highs naturally. Okay, and well, so far, of course, from the very bottom tweet, okay, I was talking, I'm not sure, let me just find it quick. Hope it is all to be seen just fine. There you go. Okay, posted on July 21st. Odds of catching perfect bottom are lower than winning lottery ticket. That is right. And there are so many hate, so many there's toxicity received for this very tweet, actually, if you go through all the comments. But long story short, fear climax. That was the climax of the fear where the last time we broke through 30K on the downside, that we just tapped 29.2. Okay, and that's exactly in this fear climax when fear and greed index just lowered down, spiked, and actually it's not spiked, but just crashed down to from 24, 23, I believe, on the scale down to 10. That's where I actually decided to add $300,000 to my long-term holdings. Okay, well, of course, I'm doing fine on that. So it's like additional 150K in just a matter of couple of days. But that's one of the stories, because I also have leveraged long position open from 29.6. Yeah, just doing fine ever since, but the main merit that the crowds are always wrong about the extremes. They're always right in the middle of trends, but they are always wrong about the extremes. So whenever I see extremely salty people, whenever Bitcoin just dumps heavily, I'm pretty much like not even certain, like you can never be certain of anything on the market, but you should be aware, that that's where majority gets it wrong, most likely. So whenever you see extreme toxicity on the people side, it's the result because of they are losing money. Okay, they are toxic because they lose money, and they will naturally search for responsibility outside themselves. They want to blame the world for me, therefore for the losses. They want to blame me for the losses. They want to blame you for the losses. They want to blame anything you can fucking come up with, just not themselves, right? Because people nowadays are very resistant to take responsibility for the actions, which makes them seek the responsibility outside, right? And it's always easier to say, oh, it's not me that fucked up the trade, it's the world that crashed, right? But from a practical point of view, it's not the world that loses money too, right? So you still don't feel fully compensated with that excuse. And you will never feel fully explained with that excuse, because the only responsibility is on your shoulders, right? And knowing of that, in this very article, I was talking about, of course, my all-time high predictions that I consider, the $90,000 to $120,000 zone to be, well, of extreme importance. Okay, with the main psychological resistance at $100,000. That is like where you add an zero. That is where you make Bitcoin transform and transition from 5-figure number to 6-figure numbers. This is a milestone. I can remember first time that Bitcoin was breaking through, you know, $10,000 in 2017, when it was breaking through $2,000, $5,000. You know, each and every single round number of this type worked as a single strong resistance. So you saw people FOMOing in. There was a 3K resistance or 5K, 10K, whatever, just some round number, and it crashed. Right? There was like massive taking profits going on. Then another sideways, perhaps another retest. You know, people were thinking, okay, another, you know, like imagine that $500 drops the other day were like 40% crash, right? So $500 drop right now is nothing. And people naturally here were believing. I can remember that perfectly in July, August 2017. People were like, oh fuck, we're done. Like the bull market ended, you know, like we're done. And what happened later was this, right? Straight to 20K. And similarly, with these oversold conditions that you see in the weekly charts, okay, that only ever since this very bull market started, like you don't need to pay attention to what happened in here. Like erase this, okay? Your focus is this very bull market. This bull market ended, the bull market started on December 15th, I believe, or 17th, okay, with extremely oversold trend and momentum. This is Birbicator, which you can get for free on TradingView, and it shows you, displays the correlation between the trend and momentum. The trend is the strongest whenever the stochastic ribbon, the momentum ribbon, aligns with that trend-based ribbon coming from the histogram case and the MA shadows. So when all three factors of it align in the same direction, that is where the trend is the strongest. Okay, whenever they start diverging from one another and there is no directional alignment, it means that the trend is weakening. So here was another example in the upside direction, right? The trend was getting stronger, and because you saw the histogram flipping the main neutrality point, okay. The histogram informing you about the Tenkan and Kijun correlation taken out of the Ichimoku system, showing you the relative deviation of shorter mean of Tenkan against the Kijun. Like, not to get too deep into the details, what matters the most is that ever since this bull market started, we have only seen and had 3 instances where the trend was this oversold, this reset, okay? And we are here currently as oversold and as underpriced as we were back when Bitcoin was trading around these levels, okay, which was like $6,000-$7,000, or these like $3,000-$4,000. So main conclusion is that we are as oversold as the time where Bitcoin was trading between $3,000 and $7,000. I think that is a very powerful name, okay? And because of that, everybody, I do believe that we are set to range through the Q3 and with this full reload, this oversold conditions, this underpriced and undervalued conditions, based on trend and momentum, okay? This is not some fucking fugazi. This is the very basic stuff of technical analysis. This is the very nature of price movements, okay? There is no confusion about it. This is a very clear example and very clear signal, which is exactly what, in my opinion, over some time will push us through, okay, the 5th wave of Elliott, which is still missing. The first wave, the second wave extended with COVID, third wave, which is usually the longest one, fourth wave, whether it's already ended and we're just going straight through, or some more consolidation, just like I expect, doesn't matter too much. The fourth wave is ending anywhere here. And and the 5th one is missing. It does make a lot of sense, you know, to expect the final climax. I still claim this was not the top. This didn't look like the top. I remember 2017 tops. You know, I remember 2019 tops. I remember every single major bigger top, you know, in the past couple of years. For Bitcoin, that ended with a perfect blow-off top with full euphoria. And there was a full euphoria, but there was no blow-off top. It was 3 months of sideways, okay? And Bitcoin does not take 3 months to top out. And I still believe that's exactly why we have to wait for the wave number 5. Okay, everybody, kind reminder, if you are not subscribed yet to our channel, make sure you leave some thumbs up, make sure you hit that subscribe button, get your bells on so that you stay tuned for our daily uploads. Okay, this is free, so if you appreciate all that I share, the fight that I take this Friday evening to spend the time with you, yeah, I think just leaving a subscription, subscribing to this very channel actually helps you more than me. But still, back to the merit. Okay, here is the BLX. Okay, I was talking to Leila, to the author of this article, which actually covered a couple of charts. Okay, but let me actually just find you very quick the charts. I just don't want to reveal the communication straight because it's against like some privacy policy. But let me just find this for you, one that I want to show you guys. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so very quick stuff. This is a BLX chart, okay, which is the Bitcoin liquidity index. This is an indexed price of Bitcoin. Indexed price of Bitcoin. So it is not the price of Bitcoin per se, it is an average price of Bitcoin ever since its inception and first listing in 2010 July. Okay, so it is out of question we are in the fourth bull market in the history. We're in the fourth bull market, and in my opinion, if I were to give you where we are here right now with regards to this current local, April to now, a period, I'd say that we are somewhere over here. We're still missing this final leg up where every single plumber, every single taxi driver, and every single just person who does not trade daily, okay, who's just getting rich. And when you see something like that, when you see Amazon popping left and right, with accepting crypto as the main payments, when you see Elon Musk going crazy about Bitcoin and buying, letting you buy Tesla truck with Bitcoin, Google, Amazon, Alibaba, like Microsoft, every single bigger corporation on this planet is going to get you allowed to give you them Bitcoin, to allow Bitcoin for their payments. Okay, I promise you that it is so obvious. This is going to come because this opens door to the mainstream. This gives them new market of people so that they can spend their money in form of Bitcoins of other cryptos. Okay, and get the product from Amazon or Google or Microsoft, etc. Okay, so this is double kind of like a thing for them, because I guarantee to you that they also own some Bitcoin, but this is not disclosed pretty much. Okay, and they will only disclose that at the very peaks. They say at the peak day you're going to see like Amazon saying they own big share of Bitcoins, Google saying they had own big share of Bitcoins never released to the public before. Okay, biggest stars like presidents of some countries owning Bitcoin, and so on and so forth. This is the peak vibes. We didn't see that enough yet in May. Okay, and trust me or not, this is your money, your responsibility, but that's the scenario that I'm playing. Okay, locally, just like I was saying, you were also seeing before talking about this very case of us being this extremely oversold. Like when Bitcoin was trading, of course, like they're below $30,000, so it's already 50% up. But I was talking about the importance of this mean reversion. This is a 50-week. This is a weekly chart of Bitcoin, 50-week moving average, 50-week mean. Okay, and this was the very first instance. This time, the very first instance that we actually reverted back to the mean. Okay, this was the very first reversion to the mean reversion ever since the breakout and disbelief of 2020. Okay, of July, September. Okay, this was the first time. And the first time, like on the 50-week moving average, it tells you that it rarely ever occurs. And whenever it occurs, this means that Bitcoin was extremely deviated against, the average in the upwards direction. So this is where the momentum was the strongest, where it peaked. Okay, so here it tells you that the market has returned to the mean, has reverted to the mean. The mean reversion was complete, and the price action data, when you have a mean, an average, the price action data oscillates around the average. And because moving average is a lagging indicator, it moves in a way that corresponds with the price action movements. Okay, so when the price is going up on is advancing on average, the moving average is going to go up as well. Okay, so very first time since the market was this was trading at $8,000 pretty much. This was the first time that it was this oversold that we saw this good stuff coming. Okay. Besides, there were a lot of articles, a lot of tweets where I was just sharing everything just publicly. Let me just look it up. What was that? That's what I was saying. Bitcoin is oversold at $9,000 before a huge rally. Okay. They say this time is different, but due to perception biases, which is behavioral finance and our human psychology, it never is, right? The market cycles are driven by fear and greed, and I bet recent fear takes Bitcoin to new all-time high in Q4. That's exactly what I do believe, okay? That's exactly what I do believe was going to happen. And besides, this is the case that I actually described to you. Yeah, and this very chart, it displays the trend-based extensions. Okay, the trend-based extensions. The fifth wave that you see in here is an extension of the third wave. Okay, so you take you can take the anchors of this and that. Okay, make a trend-based Fibonacci extension, and that's where it plays. Okay, and 1.618 is the Fibonacci level because of the golden ratio 0.618 added on top of the extension of the first extension, right? So this gives you the potential $90,000 to $120,000 region, okay, where I could expect Bitcoin to stay and resist to go through. Will it be the top? God knows. I only know that Bitcoin likes to surprise everybody. I know that Bitcoin likes to surprise everybody for how far it may reach into upwards and downwards. Okay. And knowing what's popping right now on Bitcoin, knowing that we are overall bullish, okay, you have to see this actual close for the resistance. Okay, if you do not see the close for the resistance of $43,000, in my opinion, it brings chances of fake out and further consolidation, right? But unless that happens, unless you see the daily close through, in my opinion, it gives you another round of resistances, confirmed additionally by the BPRO. Okay, let me just get you. Apply the BPRO. Okay, hopefully it loads. Okay, listen up. While it's loading, let's not waste time. There is a very significant thing that I want to give you about Ethereum, okay? Because the Bitcoin part is already pretty much covered. I want to spend a couple of minutes to give you what you have to know, in my opinion, about Ethereum, okay? And if we load up Ethereum USD chart as well, okay? This is a Litecoin chart, but yeah, let's go through the USD part. Okay, let's play the averages for the context. Let's have the averages. So we have moving average. Okay, 2 averages is what I usually take. So we get 50 moving average, 50-day moving average. Let's make it orange. Orange is fine. Let's make this one black. Okay, here. And 200. Okay, these are the main 2 averages that I'm usually most interested in having. Okay, in similar case, of course, this shows you that first of all, it's following the Bitcoin's price, right? You can tell there was a decent downside trend line breakdown, right? This was not a downtrend. This was yet another form of consolidation, okay, in the form of descending triangle. And this consolidation is not directional, just like I said. Okay, it's lacking a direction by definition. Okay, it's not an upward trend, it's not a downward trend. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so having seen this factual breakout, the resistances that you can tell because of the pre-breaker nature, just like I explained to you about Bitcoin. Firstly, you can tell there are two major resistances in there. Okay, mainly because, well, just based on the price action, I'm not using like indicators per se in here. Just based on the price action, you can tell that these levels were the only one, were the ones stopping Ethereum from the free fall. So once these ones were broken, it means that it had to be of very special technical significance and importance. Okay, so you could expect Ethereum to resist, to push through at around levels like 32 up to $34,000-$35,000. That is the resistance that I would be paying the attention to. So I would expect something like this. Okay, local consolidation, or perhaps some sort of like a just overthrow, blow off top locally, some pullback or throwback to be specific. You can tell, first of all, that the 200-day moving average, it's not slowing down. The 50-day moving average, it's also curving up. Okay, so we can tell, well, there is some directional alignment between the short-term average and the medium and the long-term average. So we could expect to some sort of like extrapolate that. Okay, so you could know that, well, based on the mean reversion, which I was saying that the prices time series data, like risk-adjusted returns, or the price action alone just oscillates around its average, it's likely for Ethereum at one point to return back to this actual support area. Okay, this actual support area. So it does make a lot of sense. Well, to reject this $4,000 region at the first time, perhaps with some tiny, like overthrows and fake outs. I'm just giving it an overall concept. Okay, but like if Bitcoin gives you this sideways consolidation, this symmetrical triangle, or whatever other form of consolidation, like this, okay, with the big black arrows, you can expect Ethereum to follow that with this note that you also have to be aware that there is another pair for you, okay, just for information. That is giving you very significant signal right now as we speak. Okay, so we are talking about Ethereum BTC pair, and this Ethereum BTC pair has just seen a breakthrough moment. Okay, breakout over its local downtrend line. It's not a downtrend per se, because it's another form of a descending triangle consolidation, non-directional movement, not trend. This is a form of an uptrend. This is not a form of an uptrend or a downtrend. This is a downtrend. This is an uptrend. This is sideways. Okay, very basic stuff. So it had two significant breakouts. First of all, through its 50-day moving average, okay, which it did, and through its down-oriented trendline resistance of the triangle. Okay, so assuming that we hold this resistance, which is supposed to turn into support now, it is quite likely for us to see further upside continuation after some time, depending on how strongly Bitcoin just thrives. But everybody, this regards actually one of the very significant videos that I actually did, and I believe I hosted that very webinar as well. It was about the seasonality effect, and oh, there you go, right? How to prepare. This was how to prepare for legendary alt season, where I was explaining to everybody the overall concept of the superposition effect. And this superposition effect, depending on the phase of the market, is going to pretty much like show you the correlation of Ethereum to BTC, okay, and where it's supposed to pretty much like to just take you. And knowing that Ethereum has just seen a breakout, okay, and not yet another warning for Bitcoin, there is a chance that right now, of course, for the fundamental version, the fundamental reasons of getting this new Ethereum, London fork, pretty much like just released for the Ethereum efficiency as the network, as the blockchain, you can tell that this is supposed to be like a big, like huge milestone, if not one of the biggest milestones in Ethereum history. And well, Ethereum against BTC has been stable, like approximately. Okay, here was getting stronger than BTC in April to May, where right after, well, Bitcoin peaked. Okay, Bitcoin peaked somewhere in April, and then where Ethereum led the entire party for the altcoins. Okay, I was talking about all of it here in this very how to prepare legendary alt season. Okay, how to prepare for legendary alt season. Make sure, guys, you actually go for it. Okay, this is actually probably our most frequently viewed video so far. So it's kind of like good, but go for it if you are missing the point and don't know what I'm talking, like don't understand what I'm talking about with regards to the superposition effect. It's all in there. Go for it. Scroll through the materials. You're not going to regret it. It's all free besides. Okay. Hope that it does make sense so far. And I do believe that because of that, there is high chance for Ethereum over some time, perhaps again. This Ethereum BTC pair is a result of, I should say, it's dependent on what Bitcoin does. It's not a, separated, isolated market. It does depend on what Bitcoin does. And if Bitcoin pushes through like crazy, with a vertical rally up, I promise you that altcoins against BTC are not going to keep up with the Bitcoin's price. Okay, they're naturally going to decline in the Bitcoin's pairs. So altcoins against Bitcoin are going to decline. The sharper and the more vertical the Bitcoin up movement is. Okay, so but it tells you, well, there was a local, on average, local downtrend by the price action, the actual chart pattern, which you saw the breakout for. Okay, there is high chance that we could see some continuation in the Ethereum taking over a part of crypto market capitalization. Okay, it does make sense to expect Ethereum to reach about $10,000, knowing that we still have some space, like from here to just give it a high. So it's like 100% upwards, just based on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin ratio. Okay, so it is assuming that we repeat the pattern and we see this ultimate alt season, everything bubble pump, in the Q4 later this year when Bitcoin goes through the $100,000, this full peak euphoria I was talking about. You could see Ethereum catching up for at least 100%, okay, from the levels that it would be trading against Bitcoin. So this is the potential, like whatever Bitcoin pumps versus USD, Ethereum is going to pump versus USD as well, right? Let's say approximately if Bitcoin pumps against USD like, 100%, which is more than likely in my opinion, then you would see Ethereum also popping up like versus USD, even if it stays flat in here versus Bitcoin, it pumps in tandem with BTC. So if it pumps 100%, then you get 100% with the upside, like Ethereum BTC capacity room, which gives you another 100% on the 100%. So it's actually easy right now to deduct, to induct from that we could see about $10,000 regions. Okay, $10,000 regions sounds fair in my opinion for Ethereum. Like take the 100% just of the Ethereum all-time highs, which was more than $4,000. You already are close to 9,000, right? And it is yet assuming that Bitcoin was at $65,000. It's quiet on the chat, but apparently everybody is just all ears, maybe, hopefully. I agree that London fork adds a lot of strong fundamental value and argument for the pumps. I do agree with that. Okay, and okay, everybody, we still have a couple more minutes, so I'm going to give you a very brief promise on what I'm interested in DeFi altcoins. This is the linear finance I was talking about on live trading stories on Wednesday. Actually, only was yesterday on our Instagram. Okay, this is a very beautiful chart, which, well, has just reversed, in my opinion. Okay, has just seen the actual reversion and the reversal. So first of all, the downside trend break broken in here, right? You can see the averages, the 200-day moving average also being broken through in here. These are the Bollinger Bands. You can tell the volatility, the price action is pressing up on the volatility bands. So there is high chance that this volatility is starting to get directional. And whenever the volatility increases and the price action just, kind of like presses on the Bollinger Bands, on the upper band, and we see a massive close through the Bollinger Band, you could see it. You could consider that an actual breakout signal. Okay, break a signal. So mean reversion for the same reasons. 200-day. 200-day. What was that? Sorry, I was talking about the 50 MA, right? So the orange one is a 50. This one is 200-day moving average. So high chances you could see it pulling back at one point to 200-day moving average. And best part is that it is still just going to be accumulation. So I consider this entire stuff to be of accumulation. From the technical point of view, all the fundamental values are there already. So it is, in my opinion, safe project fundamentally. I've been in contact with them, with Linear Finance team. They are very good people, very knowledgeable in the field, and pushing extremely hard despite the market difficulties in the past weeks and months. So this is very simple play for me, in my opinion. At least for about 70%, 60-70% for the 200-day moving average push, with very high chances, in my opinion, to see another ultimate alt season, just like I said, later this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if it actually just, first of all, goes equal with its highs, or even goes way beyond. Okay, so this is first one. The firm network. The firm network is another case, exactly for the same reasons. Strong fundamental values proven and delivered. They're pressing very hard. Trend lines broken. This is a very typical movement. You would see very strong technical divergence. Okay, lining up with the lower highs on the price action and high with lower lows on the price action and higher lows on the oscillator on the RSI. Momentum is pressing upwards. Same story with the accumulation. Same reason. Okay, this is supposed to pump in tandem, in my opinion. Plus, it has already had its breakout signal. Okay, so Linear is still missing that. So for the same reasons, 200-day moving average, mean reversion, at least very simple play, in my opinion. And then there is EXRD. Let me just see if this is the one. And I threw in a chart about it. Hopefully everybody just saw it. But threw in a chart on Twitter, not to mention my private trading group. They all got all the signals before, it pumped 50-60%. By the way, this is obvious. But it is, I've seen these valuable projects, before, these types of valuable projects, and what seems to be big right now in here, right? What seems to be first of all, this is no trend, this is sideways. And I've seen this sideways before on many other projects. And what it does usually is, when the project is fundamentally valuable and everything just pumps later on, this just becomes small. And you see something like that later on, knowing that this was the accumulation. Okay, so for this reason, in my opinion, knowing of their fundamentals, knowing what they are, this is probably a longer term play. Hopefully, they it's not a hope even. The question is whether this is bull market or the next bull market after the bear market, right? So one way or another, I do expect something like this. This is a sleeping giant that has not seen just yet its awakening. These are my three kind of main DeFi picks, right? If you ask me, of course there are so many other, but these are the ones that I just had in the charts open for you. Okay, everybody, so let's get it going for a quick 5-minute Q&A session. Okay, so I'm going to pick a couple of your questions and and see what we can come up with. Okay, to start with, I'm going to have one. So there is a question from Nick. Does Birb have a video on how he uses view up on volume weighted average price? If not, can you make one, please? The Birb nest. I already had a couple of them on our YouTube. If you ask me, if you go to our YouTube again, just make sure you subscribe. You know, because there are so many daily uploads. There every single day we're having a new upload. Every single day, okay, it's coming as a new upload. And I actually covered in so many reports. In so many reports, I covered well, the perfect use of the volume weighted average price. I did that a couple of times. So make sure you just scroll through all of well, all of the videos, right? In the past, they are there to stay. Let me just get you another one. Have you seen today the XY pump? I have not seen it, to be honest. Let me just see very quick. What pump? I cannot see any pump, to be honest. No pump. So either you mean some micro time frame that is irrelevant and not important, or you talk about some different chart. Okay. What I see in the YFI. YFI, by the way, is another example of next to linear finance, next to firm network, next to Radix. In my opinion, YFI is yet another project that is supposed to recover strongly in the following months. And I am an investor, right? I make money off trading, and I see valuable concept. I see valuable setup technically and fundamentally, and I just take it, right? So I see an opportunity. Very pure, the best. I follow your advice when you called a massive dump back in May, and that saved my capital. Also bought perfect bottom July 20 based on your prediction. Thanks. Eduardo, I'm proud of you, brother. Very happy for you, amigo. Very good. Congratulations. Show off some love for Eduardo, everybody. Okay. Thanks from the bottom of my heart for the baby kit. I've been using it for the last weeks, and I love it. Very good. Roxanne and crew, very happy for it. No blow off, only at 2x on top of previous all-time high. Definitely not fall on top. We have not seen the mania phase yet. I fully agree with my very good brother here off the pool. Make sure, guys, you give him a follow on Twitter. Same name, Year of the Bull. He's a very very reliable person in there. Make sure you go ahead and push it. Fantastic stream you've earned as a new subscriber. I'm very happy for that. Thank you. Just searching for the questions, everybody. Very quick. Let's have a very quick look then at the Litecoin. There was a chart request. This is a Litecoin chart. You can tell that it's completely lagging against Ethereum. Okay, so if you had the Ethereum and Litecoin pair, or should I say Litecoin Ethereum pair, you would see it declining in the ratio. Okay, you can tell that the Ethereum has actually recovered already the entire move, right? You can see some sort of like range highs, let's say here or here, doesn't matter too much. Like Ethereum is currently here, Litecoin is here. And whenever Ethereum leads the way, when Bitcoin is like super bullish, you can expect Litecoin to catch up as well, in my opinion. Same story. I still believe Litecoin is supposed to like get you $1,000 later this year, whenever Ethereum is going to pump in tandem up to. Oh, there we go. Right, I wasn't seeing. Naturally, I keep checking on the charts. You didn't lose much. I was talking about that, right? This local chart. This range highs, range lows. Ethereum is already here, right? Ethereum is already here versus Litecoin. Litecoin is where Ethereum was here. So there is high chance that it would take some time for Litecoin to catch up with Ethereum. Whenever Ethereum leads the way, Bitcoin provides enough stability. There are high chances that we could see, well, some good pump. Okay. Okay. Okay, before we disconnect, I'll take one or two more. Can this BTC move BF fake out? Of course it can. Why not? Right? Just needs to see if the daily closes through the main resistance or not. Okay. The tutorials videos coming out recently, love, have been so good. Very much love. Keep on keeping on. Thank you, Shiva. Appreciate it. What are your thoughts on leverage trading? What a general question. To be honest, like I cannot give you very specific answer to a very general question, right? This is a generic question. So I say, what are my thoughts about leverage trading? My thoughts are that if you can do it, do it. I know many people who can profit from that. I have my open 3-4x leverage long from 29.6K for long term. If you can trade it, go ahead, do it. But if you are new and if you have no idea on what that is, then I highly suggest and recommend you actually just start from the basis, from the bottom up, from the learning to foundations. Okay. Okay. Are you watching FUD in U.S. Congress right now? Regulators are trying to dismantle U.S. crypto industry. There might be a lot of FUD because of that. Okay, which is I'm certain there is going to be some FUD coming up. Perhaps like, there's always the biggest FUD right at the very bottoms and the biggest euphoria mania and everybody getting rich, the get rich quick headlines on every bigger wallpaper, every bigger newspaper on the planet, like on the peaks, right? So this is something that that is cyclical. That is nothing new. I wouldn't get too excited or too scared about it either. Okay. Is there a trial version of Birb? It is free on there. Like there's no trial. It is free for everybody to be taken. Okay. On TradingView. Go ahead. Any large caps you dislike? BSV. I dislike BSV. I dislike TRX mainly, but that's, I just don't trade it. I don't need to like it. Do you have any burbs? I do have a lot of burbs. I do have 3 parrots, 3 cockatiels. I throw a couple of peaks at like a week, usually on my Twitter. So check it out. And yes, we do have so many free content, so many pieces, so many resources. Starting off from the free newsletter, or the nest letter, as I love to call that, comes out every single week on Tuesday. If you put in your email, your name, we're going to get you with that for free. Okay. So first of all, I could charge you for that, but I do not charge. So it is free. Go ahead and take it. There is more than 20,000 subscribers in that, and it's growing fast. We have unlimited amount and pure gold mine of the 3 infographics about risk management and trading experience and how to handle that, right? Or, well, what is the necessary mindset for designing a trading system without which you cannot trade properly? A very simple education about blockchain and how it works, okay? Stages of the market cycle for the accumulation of market distribution and markdown, something close to the Wyckoff theories. We have a pure explanation of the Fibonacci sequence. Hope everybody can see that still. Like every single chart pattern you can dream of is perfectly analyzed and designed and described what's typical and characteristic about it. You can tell that OBV, on-balance volume, and other like accumulation AD distribution indicators coming up. Bollinger Bands, okay, for the volatility, ATR, so much of this free content. Okay, go ahead. This is all you can download that, print it, put it on your wall, hang it on your wall, flash it every single day you wake up. This is all for you. Okay, webinars just like this one, like podcasts. We do have podcasts. And then we have also the blog with such an amazing article from Crypto Penguin just very recently about the art of trading, art of war and trading, with the Sun Tzu art of war comparisons and how the market is a battlefield. This is such a phenomenal piece. I highly encourage everybody to go and read it through. And I also post my daily free reports, or I should say, well, 3 a week usually, where I explain pretty much everything about Bitcoin on every time frame you can come up with. Okay, here is the very bottom, July 19th, and I was talking, okay, about how when Bitcoin was trading right at $30,000, I was talking about all of it, okay, and the fear. Well, I was telling that whether or not the BTC drops to 23, 24K region, the market is already extremely oversold. Okay, everybody was expecting 23, 24. I didn't care enough because I did know that the market was already oversold extremely on all time frames at the rates unseen since 2018 bear market depths, and only recorded in this 3 years history. Okay, so this is all free. You can get it on thebirbnest.com. Okay, you can go for it. And on top of that, there is free trial, 7 days free. Okay, for the exclusive access, for the educational trading materials, for every market, crypto, forex, stocks, commodities, indices, and beyond. For me and my support, me and my team support 24/7. Literally, we're working internationally. We're 24/7 live and open. We're not closed at any time because we have international community, international people, and international team members who can take care of you. Okay, so that is pretty cool. This is how it looks. But oh, there you go. Some decent profits clicking in. The main forum, like you have the official calls as well, just to flash you a couple of them, perhaps. I called BTC there about $30,000. Okay, so ever since like there was a post about Ethereum right before it pumped 60%, and each and every single like bigger call is coming there. We have a very strong legacy platform. Okay, with the other markets, just like I said, I have my own personal trading channel where I share all my thoughts and all my moves, just like anybody else. So my team, we have market scanners, which are pretty free. I mean, which are very free, and they save you so much time where you can easily just see visually what's bullish, what's bearish, what's too long, what's too short. Very simple filter that helps you out. The Verbicator charts, okay, where it's all automated. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Bitcoin reports, the video reports from me, where I literally just drop the content that I do not share and release on Twitter, where I explain the view up and other indicators. It is all given to you 7 days free if you go right ahead and sign up with with this free proposition. Okay, I do believe everybody that this is pretty fair deal, if you ask me. We're not charging that for 7 days. You're not charged for anything. Okay, 7 days free. And everybody, all the charts, all the amazing, brilliant questions that you're popping in the chats, I can see them all, but I cannot answer them because I need to be finishing right now. So let's have a deal. If you want me to answer the questions, or by myself, or with the help of my team, where I can just ask them 24/7, come over to the Birb Nest for 7 days. Nobody presses you to stay in there. If you want, just go and if you think you could get some help with trading, you need some training, you need some support with your decisions, you need some educational content access for what's confirmed, what's verified, what works, what doesn't work in this market. This is exactly where you're going to get it in the Birb Nest for 7 days free. And that's where you can decide later on if you're ready to join and stay for the paid period, or just go and are not ready enough to dedicate your body and soul and mind to trading professionally and seriously. If you're not serious, that's not for you. If you're serious, go for it. Everybody, that's all I've got for you today. Bring all your questions in there. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the day. That's all. Peace out, folks. Bye-bye.